Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out for ACIM Talks with Reverend Jim. And I hope you all got the agenda, and I think we're into exciting continuation of some relevant, valuable studies. Our sessions, if you haven't noticed, have evolved into doing two things each session. We will take a selection from our Oracle explorations. Remember, we selected 10 workbook lessons out of the first 50 workbook lessons, and we're working our way through those as Oracle explorations, thinking that these are the 10 the Holy Spirit wanted us to go over. The second part of the evening, we will be back into our book study of the Kybalion by three initiates. And it's just getting exciting there because we're starting to look at the actual seven Hermetic principles. And even what we're doing now is just a summary overview of the principles that are going to be covered. And then the rest of the little book goes into detail about each of those principles. So it's pretty good so far, right? And
Yeah.
the way it's
Mhm.
written, it's like really written very well. It's easy to follow. I don't know if you agree with what they're saying, but to me, it's very well presented.
Mhm.
Love is the way I walk in gratitude. What is that? 194, Laverne?
Yeah, if you say so.
Oh no. Anyhow, I like your what do you call it? Zoom
Plus,
background.
yes, yes.
And oh man, I'm really messing up. Okay, I'm getting off my game here. I thought it was in the 150 somethings. Anyhow, thank you for being here, Laverne. We had a feeling you might be running a little late.
Yeah, I
So,
got that other class ahead of you.
yeah. So we're
Hmm.
just getting started, and we're starting tonight with our Oracle exploration. We are on selection lesson 20, and in your Course in Miracles books, it starts on page 31. So let's get our readers together and we can get started tonight. Who does not want to read besides Jeanette?
Joan
Catherine,
does not want to read.
I don't.
Joan, who
Catherine,
else?
Catherine.
Here we go. I don't. Please
Huh?
take me off the
All
list.
right.
Thank you.
So I have Catherine, Jeanette, Joan, and Hilda do not want to read, correct?
Correct.
All right, so Sherilyn is one, Kathleen is two. Sherilyn has nothing to read. So oh, you got your Course in Miracles book? Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so you'll be reader one, and then Catherine and Ron is three, and I'll be reader four. And so let's get started with
Okay.
lesson 20 that the Holy Spirit suggested we take another look at. So let's read through it, do the meditation period, and see if there's anything you'd like to say further about I am determined to see? Sherilyn, please start.
Okay, I am determined to see. We have been quite casual about our practice periods thus far. There has been virtually no attempt to direct the time for undertaking them. Minimal effort has been required, and not even active cooperation and interest have been asked. This approach has been intentional and very carefully planned. We have not lost sight of the crucial importance of the reversal of your thinking. The salvation of the world depends on it. Yet you will not see if you regard yourself as being coerced and if you give in to resentment and opposition.
Yeah, do another, Sherilyn, please.
Okay. This is our first attempt to introduce structure. Do not misconstrue it as an effort to exert force or pressure. You want salvation. You want to be happy. You want peace. You do not have them now because your mind is totally undisciplined and you cannot distinguish between joy and sorrow, pleasure and pain, love and fear. You are now learning how to tell them apart. And great indeed will be your reward.
So, to me, what stands out in these first two paragraphs is the focus has to be focused, but no pressure. No feeling like you're being coerced or something that you have to do. So if it's not something you have to do, what's left?
Something you want
that
to
you
do.
want to do.
Yeah, that's what's coming across. So when we talk about this determination, fundamentally, it falls in the category of I desire this. Nobody's pushing me into it. I desire it of my own free will. That's the kind of determination that Jesus is talking about here, in my opinion. What do you think?
Probably so.
Yeah.
Yeah. What if you say, well, boy, this is really hard? What does that do?
Makes
you
it
more
hard.
determined.
Makes it hard.
No, it becomes a distraction.
Right.
That's what don't want you to miss the point is that this is not something that looks upon coercion of any kind. You have to want to do it of your own free will. You have to desire this thing.
And you can even start by saying, I'm willing to see.
Yes. And just so you don't forget, what's lesson 21? What's the title?
I am determined to see things differently.
Okay. Not because I'm being pressured, but he says in paragraph 2, sentence 6, you do not have them now because your mind is totally undisciplined and you cannot distinguish between these things. You are now learning to tell them apart. What's them?
That the feelings that you've just described here, the joy versus sorrow, and
Yes. That's,
pleasure and pain, love and
yes,
fear.
gotcha, Cheryl. And that's kind of where these lessons are going. Let's continue reading, okay? Kathleen, would you do maybe 3 and 4?
Sure.
Yeah,
Your
thank you.
decision to see is all that vision requires. What you want is yours. You do not mistake the little effort that is asked of you for an indication that our goal is of little worth. Can the salvation of the world be a trivial purpose? And can the world be saved if you are not? God has one Son, and He is the resurrection and the life. His will is done because all your power is given Him in heaven and on earth. In your determination to see is vision given you. The exercise for today consists of reminding yourself throughout the day that you want to see. Today's idea is textually implied
Yeah.
that recognition that you do not see now. Therefore, as you repeat the idea, you are stating that you are determined to change your present state for a better one, and one you really want.
Ron, let's do 5, sir.
Repeat today's idea slowly and positively at least twice an hour today, attempting to do so every half hour. Do not be distressed if you forget to do so, but make a real effort to remember. The extra repetition should be applied to any situation, person, or event that upsets you. You can see them differently, and you will. What you desire, you will see. Such is the real law of cause and effect as it operates in the world.
You guys remember doing this lesson over your time with A Course in Miracles and trying to remember to say these titles twice a day? And I used to have to put the title of the day like on a 3x5 card. And it's funny because I used to kind of carry it in my wallet. And when I was at work or had a minute, I look at it, or this is funny, like if I go to the men's room, I pull that thing out my wallet while I was in the men's room, just trying to remember, right? To do it at least twice an hour throughout the day. And I don't know what limps you go to, but for me, part of the issue was remembering what the title was I was supposed to be on that day. Do you ever have that problem about remembering? You know, maybe you did it in the morning, but then you couldn't even remember where you were. Yeah. So back then we didn't have smartphones, man. I had to write mine on a 3x5 card. In any event, um, anything else from you guys? We're going to do a brief meditation and see if we can sink that in a little bit further. But it caught my eye at the end at paragraph 5 in sentence 6. Such is the real law of cause and effect as it operates in the world. And that's our Kybalion study, isn't it? One of the principles, cause and effect. Such is the real law of cause and effect. What is the real law of cause and effect? What's he talking about here? It's in the sentence before.
What you desire.
You will see. And that's back, desire is back into more mental states, right? Isn't that where everything happens? Everything is mental. So we're doing separate readings, but don't miss the commonality between our book study and our oracle selection. Do you see some correspondence there?
Mhm.
Let's take about 5 minutes and just think about you've seen this lesson before, but if you want a kind of second chance, let's just take this lesson and reflect on the meaning of it for just a bit more. I am determined to see because I don't like what I see now. And there is a mechanism to change it. The mechanism is kind of based on some of the Hermetic principles, in fact. Mentalism being the cause, and a change in what I see being the effect. So I don't know about you, but I'm trying to spend more time looking at my mind, my thoughts, and seeing which thought spirits would have me let go, so that what I project, what my effects are that I produce, will change from the ones I don't like. I admit I don't like what I see. It's nice sometimes, but what is a pleasure that just turns to pain? Why can't pleasure be more sustained instead of fleeting? Maybe there's a way to bring that about. And all the sages say it has to do with a change of mind. Is it worth the effort? Yes? No?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it worth about as much as any of your other pursuits? Maybe more.
Yes.
So I'm trying to carve out time in my life like this is as important, or maybe the most important, because I'm thinking about lesson 21. I'm determined to see things differently. And then lesson 27, above all else, I am determined to see things differently. So I'm glad Spirit kind of reminded us to go back and take another look at this lesson and see if it helps kind of re-energize us in our efforts. Comments from you, and let me check. Kathleen left, but she sent me a text, so problem with her phone. Anyhow, we'll let her work on that, but at least acknowledge that I got her text. Comments from you. We doing all right?
Mhm.
Anybody bored?
I'm never bored in these classes.
Good deal. Thank you. Thank you. We're on track. Let's turn to the Kybalion. And tonight we are on page 15, but by way of kind of reintroducing and getting us up to speed, tonight we're on the third principle, the third Hermetic principle, the principle of vibration. So last time we covered the principle of mentalism and the principle of correspondence. What's the principle of mentalism?
All is mine.
All is mine. And was there another comment? All is mine?
It was, but it was wrong.
Okay. How about the next one? The principle of correspondence. What's that?
As above, so below.
And what does that mean?
Means that whatever is happening in the universe or whatever is happening in the unseen mind is also happening in the form.
Yeah.
Whatever's happening in form is happening in the unformed.
So, yes, I would agree. I would even say the principle of correspondence says everything works the same way. No matter what it is, it works on the same universal principles. Whether it's in the micro or in the macro, it operates the same way. We use the example, the body operates on the same principles as the universe. Okay. Oceans operate according to the same principles as the universe. Why is that good to know?
It's good to know that, going back to the first one, that everything is united, everything is one.
Well, how is that
There's
helpful to
no
you?
there's no separation.
Okay.
But that's helpful for me. That's, makes me feel comforted to know that I'm not separated um, from the power.
I understand that, but here's my take on it, okay? The reason this is good for you to know is that if you know how one works, you know how all of it works.
True.
That can be very useful.
Right.
It does tend to simplify, doesn't it?
Right.
The example that they gave in the book was how scientists and astronomers do calculations on outer space using the same math that we use on Earth. Isn't that correct? And their calculations are accurate, have proven to be accurate. But what they used was the same mathematics that we use on Earth. Are you following me, or do I have this wrong? Is
Okay.
anybody there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening. I've never heard that before,
You
but
do.
I'm listening to it. So
What do you think of it?
it sounds logical.
Okay. Um, I was trying to see if I could put my finger on it. If you look on page 15, and if the line goes, the ancient Hermetists considered this principles as one of the most important mental instruments by which man was able to pry aside the obstacles which hid from view the unknown. Its use even tore aside the veil of Isis to the extent that a glimpse of the face of the goddess might be caught. Just as a knowledge of the principles of geometry enables man to measure different suns and their movements while seated in his observatory, So a knowledge of the principle of correspondence enables man to reason intelligently from the known to the unknown. So if there's something you don't know about, you can use what you do know about to start making assessments of what you don't know about. And for the most part, it's very accurate. Am I losing y'all?
No, we're just listening carefully.
All right. So all we're saying as we become masters along the way and through our studies and are receiving this master key that he keeps talking about, keep in mind it's going to not only be helpful, the value is not just in knowing these principles, but being able to master them, to use them to your advantage. So let's see how we do. I don't know if I'm going to turn into a yogi this time around, but let's let's see how we do, okay? We
Okay.
are up to the principle of vibration, and Ron only got one paragraph before it. Ron, you want get us started here? We're at the bottom of 15. The principle of vibration.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. The Kybalion. This principle embodies the truth that everything is in motion, everything vibrates, nothing is at rest, facts which modern science endorses and which each new scientific discovery tends to verify. And yet this Hermetic principle was enunciated thousands of years ago by the masters of ancient Egypt. This principle explains that the differences between different manifestations of matter, energy, and mind, and even spirit, result largely from varying rates of vibration. From the all, which is pure spirit, down to the grossest form of matter. All is in vibration. The higher the frequency, the higher the position in the scale. The vibration of spirit is at such an infinite rate of intensity and rapidity that it is practically at rest, just as a rapidly moving wheel seems to be motionless. And at the end of the scale, there are gross forms of matter whose vibrations are so low as to seem at rest. Between these poles, there are millions upon millions of varying degrees of vibration, from corpuscle and electron, atom and molecule, to worlds and universes. Everything is in vibratory motion. This is also true on the planes of energy and force, which are but varying degrees of vibration, and also on the mental planes, whose states depend upon vibration, and even on the spiritual planes. An understanding of this principle with the appropriate formulas enables Hermetic students to control their own mental vibrations as well as those of others. The masters also apply this principle to the conquering of natural phenomena in various ways. He who understands the principle of vibration has grasped the scepter of power, says one of the old writers.
So that's pretty easy to follow, isn't it? And isn't it amazing that the findings about everything vibrating, uh, I first really, maybe it first came up for me when I heard about quantum physics
Mhm.
and that everything is vibrating, nothing is at rest. And how does that come off to you? Did you already know that everything is vibrating?
It brings to mind to me that the planets, every planet vibrates in a certain way and they have their own sound.
Yes,
They emit a different sound.
yes,
So, and then that's like cells. The cells know when to connect to make a compound or an element,
yes,
you know, they
yes.
attract, they know when to attract or vibrate.
I've always been interested in the vibration of music and how music makes people feel,
Yeah,
musical vibrations, and
yeah,
why
Right.
why spiritual centers think that it's important to always include music, like you always include music, meditation.
yeah.
Yeah.
And a
Hmm.
lot of people think it doesn't matter. Like on Wednesday, the whole effort to uh, bulk up the experience by adding music, by adding stillness and things like that. And you think, well, what difference does it make? But don't you see, according to what's being said here, you can do a lot to change people's experience by changing their vibration, by exposing them. I know, like, I go into my art studio now and I'll put the big stereo on in the living room when I go in there, and I'll just be working and some music will come up, and it's almost it's just spontaneous, man. And I'll just start rocking. You hear some music you like, don't you? Just you can't
For
help
sure.
yourself, right?
Right.
Right.
What is
Right.
that phenomenon?
Hmm.
And so that is a phenomenon to me, kind of based on the power of vibration and the frequency of the vibration and the sympathetic effects. You know how you can be in a music store and you'll play a guitar string and that same note will ring out on another instrument?
Mhm.
So these are kind of common examples to me of this Hermetic principle of vibration.
Hmm.
There's another coming up on rhythm, but we'll be coming to that pretty soon. What are
Hmm.
your comments here on Ron's reading here of the principle of vibration? Anything else catch your eye here?
Well, no, but one comment I had is that words have vibrations. How
Yes,
you, mhm,
thank you.
yeah,
Yeah,
how we speak our words.
yeah.
Mhm.
So we
Mhm.
have all of these forces that are legitimate forces that surround us, but we pay very little attention to them. And yet, according to this stuff, they're the bedrock of everything, these seven principles. Anything else, my friends?
I was thinking that all the cells of our body vibrate constantly.
Yes,
Mhm.
even
Mhm.
rocks are vibrating.
Rocks.
Yeah.
It's the vibratory speed in that, as they were saying, I think near the end of that section, that makes it appear to look still. But the
Right.
other thing they mentioned, I'm sure you've seen this phenomenon, like it talked about a wheel, and you'll see it spinning and spinning, but when it spins really fast, you can't, it looks like it's still. You can't see it moving, it's spinning so fast.
Be
Or
like the
when you're
earth.
in an airplane going 600 miles an hour, it's like you're in your living room or something, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like the
That
earth, but
reminds
it's
me,
hmm
that reminds me of something I heard. There was this guy that died and he went to heaven and he was walking down a long hallway and he saw millions and millions of clocks. And he asked, what do these clocks mean? And he was told that they tick according to how you sin. So Mother Teresa's clock, very, the hand didn't move too much. And great leaders, their hand didn't move too much. So the guy said, well, can I see my clock? And the man said, well, we keep yours in the office and use it as a fan.
As a fan,
Right.
yeah.
okay.
I think I
You
got it,
get
Catherine.
you
Thank
get it?
you.
So when we
Okay.
agree with somebody else, that means we're vibrating at a similar or the same frequency. Is that correct?
I would think so. These are all possibilities. I don't know. But new things are coming into our awareness about the meaning behind everything that's going on. And so when you start to reflect on these meanings that we weren't aware of, or, we knew about it, but we didn't pay it that much attention. If these are the keys to the universe, it's probably worthwhile knowing, don't you think?
No,
I think so.
absolutely.
And
Yeah,
these principles have held up for millennia.
that's
They're the
right.
basis of all the spiritualities and all of the stuff, right?
Right.
So I'm excited. I'll just put it that way. Anything else? Yes, Hilda?
Yeah, I thought I might chip in there something somewhere.
Yes.
Um, as a matter of fact, I some years ago I gave a little speech at the library concerning Tai Chi. And part of this was that, and I actually did find out there's a book that you can, and I forget the name and all this kind of stuff, but it had to do with the fact of the wavelengths that everything operates on. And at this point was actually, there is a mathematical formula. I looked at it. I have no idea how to interpret it or anything, but it was there to say that if you wanted to, and I'm simplifying this totally, but if you wanted to kind of be at peace with the universe, if you will, that you get down to the vibration that is the same as that of the earth. And they're
Yeah.
calculated what that is, and that you go to it. And so then that, of course, lends itself to the fact that the earth is also vibrating
Right.
Vibrating.
universe. So you have the
Right.
whole universe. Everything is vibrating. Everything is in motion, if you will.
Right.
And
And
the length of the waves determines just what level of agitation, if you will, you are at that you are actually at.
yeah, it
I
was
don't
a change of vibration, and what was
change
flat,
your
the
mind.
ocean rose up,
Yeah.
but there was a cause for that, right? Cause and effect.
That's right.
Well, it's mentioned in here that there are formulas for vibration. So that got me wondering, just what are the formulas for vibration?
I have no idea. I mean, this is an introduction for me as well.
Uh,
But it's something worth,
it says an understanding of this principle with the appropriate formulas enables Hermetic students to control their own mental
yes,
vibrations,
yes.
as well as those of others. Now, it kind of tags on to what Ron just said about um, vibrating with other people. And I'm like, what is that formula? I mean, what is it that will allow me to vibrate with you in a peaceful, loving way?
I think these are some of the occult, some of the secrets of the yogis. I mean,
Mm,
you look at, well, I'll start Ram Dass. You guys heard
mm,
of Ram Dass?
mm-hmm,
Yes.
mm,
Uh, Paramahansa Yogananda,
mm-hmm,
Sadhguru, for
mm-hmm,
example. If
mm-hmm,
you ever see these people, that's where they spend all their time. Just like you go to a job and your
mm-hmm,
life has certain activities, these yogis are aware of what these formulas are.
mm-hmm,
Seriously.
mm-hmm,
They've taken time to study and practice using these principles and these formulas. So I'm not aware of it. Most of us wouldn't be, but there are people that delve into learning this stuff, just like they're saying here.
mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
would have a long way to go to be like Yogananda.
many are clairvoyant.
Yes. And
Yes.
maybe it's along that path that they discovered their clairvoyance. But this is an untapped, a generally untapped area that most people know very little about, unless you're a mystic or a yogi or one of the old masters of the Far East. This seems like, could some of these things be what Jesus used
I'm
Mhm.
sure.
to move mountains, stuff like that?
Wow.
Oh, Hilda, what's on your face?
Yeah, because she's probably thinking the
Could this
movement.
be what Jesus used?
I know I'm trying to remember what it was, but I don't. But
Well,
yes, but I mean, you can control the wavelengths, uh,
yes.
and there are breathing techniques that you can use and pursue to find that, and
Yeah.
some of which you used for as an example in Tai Chi. So yeah,
Yes. Could you
And
use it to
mm,
change water to wine? Are these the principles that you might possibly use to uh, heal the blind?
well, but you
also,
can certainly change. You can certainly change your mind or the state of your mind about it by using a
exactly.
breathing technique, going from an agitated one to a very calm one,
Yes.
and
Right.
eventually end up just being on the same wavelengths as the Earth is, and you're just totally at peace.
Exactly.
So
And the
And,
other
and it
thing
gets back
is,
to the words vibrate and have power. And that's why we do the affirmations and the denials, because the words have
all
vibrational
right.
power. So,
And
yeah,
as you gain more vibrational power, please keep in mind that you can also affect other minds.
right.
Lesson 18, no, 19. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts.
Mhm.
You can do this through meditation.
Yes.
Mhm.
And so meditation maybe is putting us on a higher wavelength, a higher vibration. Or
It's like,
go ahead.
no, I was just going to say there's two meditations, positive and negative, that you can go through. Positive is like Laverne saying, using affirmations, but in India, Hindu, they say nati nati, where it's negative, and you keep removing the negativity out of your thoughts and get to the basic, the
Is that
B.
through denials?
Yes, that's what
Oh,
denials are for.
right.
That's the purpose of the denial, to
Yeah.
get rid of those things and let them and understand that they have no
So that
power.
you're
They have no
releasing
power.
things that
Right.
you don't want with you. Yeah,
And
good point.
understanding that they don't have any power over you, the negativity, the negative vibrations or the negative talk has
Gotcha.
no power. But I wanted to ask if anybody, sometimes in my house, something will fall, I'll hear a noise and maybe something fell off the desk or fell off the table. And surely that must have something to do with some type of vibration. And I'm just wondering if anyone else has experienced, like things in the house, you hear some noise and something fell, and you're like, well, how did that happen?
I have had that feeling or that sense as well, and it almost seems like magic, which I know is not a proper term for it, but it seems like
Right.
there's no way to describe it.
Right. Well, I'm glad my house is not the only spooky place.
Well, one thing we can be, Catherine, you had another comment?
No, I'm going.
Oh,
No.
one thing you can be sure of, Laverne, now that we're doing this. Oh, bye, Catherine. Sorry.
Mhm.
Now that we're doing this, is it wasn't at random, was it?
I don't think so, but I don't know, the rhyme or reason.
Well, it can't be at random given the law of cause and effect.
Right.
What you toss up to randomness or coincidence are simply things we don't understand the cause.
Right.
But there are no accidents in that everything operates on an orderly set of principles that are universal. To go against these would be insane if they're universal law. Who in their right mind would go against who? Yeah, you'd have to be nuts. So what we're trying to get to is learning to understand them and to use them to our advantage. The laws will work for your benefit or your detriment. They just work. They're not favors to anyone. They just operate the way that they do. So let's get on top of them, and we'll be not only in a select group, but we'll be able to help brothers and sisters as we help ourselves in these pursuits as well. Anything else from anyone? Well, we're getting the pace down. It's one section a night. We did. We did finish Law 3, the summary of it. So I guess next time, my friends, we'll pick up with the principle of polarity.
Mhm.
Is this a good pace for you?
Mhm.
How we're combining the oracle
Mhm.
thing and the Kybalion and the meditation, you see?
Yeah, I
All
like the
right,
way
I
they
got
you
some
bring them
thumbs
together.
up. All right.
It's good. It's all good.
Well, thank you all for coming out. We're going to spend just a few minutes in our family discussion and call it a night. And I think we had a win tonight. So let's quit while we're ahead, don't you think?
I agree. There's a lot of things to think about.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
Most definitely.
Well, that's kind of our mission here, is to get us to consider some things we might not ordinarily consider. So, my friends, you have a good evening. If you can stay with me a few minutes, I'm going to stop the recording and see what else you got on your minds and do a little sharing with you too. I love you. Thank you
Love
so
you
much
too.
for
Have a
coming.
week,
Right.
everybody.
Peace out,
Yeah.
guys.